victory sweep over Adelaide 3-0 and keep their very faint playoff hopes alive. Keandre Cook with the big three at the end to win it all. Joel Peterson, Pete Hawley, Leonard Copen wrapping this one up for you. We'll take a look at our match stats. Great performance from the Bullets, Pete.
They deserved to win. They were the better team from the jump. Adelaide had a 3-minute patch in the fourth quarter where they got on top. Wasn't enough.
And for the Adelaide 36ers, we take a look at the Mitsubishi Motors standings, Leonard Copeland. It at least leaves the door ajar that they still could miss the postseason.
Absolutely. They got 2 tough games on the road, and if they don't win those games, they're going to open the door for somebody else. It's tough.
Tassie and Brisbane will need to win big. Adelaide will need to lose big, but in this NBL season,
anything's possible.
Who knows? We've seen some wild stuff and there could be more twists in the tale. So a big win for the Brisbane Bullets on the road this evening. That is coming up next. The Perth Wildcats hosting the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, 4th and 5th in the final summer shootout game. That might decide it all as far as the shootout goes. That is coming up next from out west. Thanks for your company from Adelaide. The Bullets win it by 3.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
The Phoenix rising indeed, putting on a show, and they have put the rest of the competition on notice. They're coming, everything going right for them. The Phoenix continue on their winning ways. Oh dear me! There's no food, there's no water, and there is no help on Cotton Island. Bryce Cotton cannot be stopped.
Hello folks, welcome to the Hungry Jacks NBL Pride Round, brought to you by Champion. Playoffs are just around the corner and the jostling for positions is extremely intense. Can Cotton & Co. redeem themselves after 2 straight losses here at home? The Phoenix, though, they're on the rise since Josh King took over. Let the action begin right here inside the jungle. Lockie Reed and commentary alongside Brad Rosen and Damien Martin. Damo, no margin for error for either of these 2 teams.
So much on the line tonight with the matchup, 4th versus 5th on the ladder, and after dropping consecutive home games, from the Perth Wildcats perspective, they'd be livid that they haven't taken advantage of what was an incredible away-from-home stretch over the course of December and January. They need redemption tonight, but they're coming up against a red-hot Southeast Melbourne, who do sit above them on the ladder currently.
Well, isn't it great to be sitting next to the 2 legends that are in Perth? I'm loving being here. But look, for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, this is just another win that they need to do. They were, out of their last 10 games, they've won 8. They're playing very good basketball, and they want to climb that ladder, and you can see that right there, the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. What a game it's going to be.
Oh, it's so intriguing, no doubt about it. 4th versus 5th, but they can jump up even further than that. We're looking forward to that. The Wildcats, though, Damo, still recovering from that snake bite. Cairns were absolutely sensational, double overtime, and it could be a real lethal loss for them.
Yeah, at the end of every regular season, you look back at the wins, the coulda, shoulda, woulda, and considering how tight this ladder is, in particular, 2nd through 6th, that's the type of win that at home, they would be furious they didn't take advantage of it, because they had back-to-back losses. You take care of business at home, all of a sudden they're sitting 2nd on the ladder, but right now they're 5th because of those losses at home.
Some good news for the Perth Wildcats. Dylan Windler returns. The Cats are actually 0-5 without Windler, so they struggle to get on the winners list when he's not playing. It's the first time the full roster with Webster also playing, that they've been together since November 12.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And that stat was amazing when you saw that they're 8-0 when he's over 15 points. It just shows what a key he is. And then you add Ty Webster into that. Now they've got the riches that they need, and it will be very interesting to see how they play. This guy, first game, that's a long time to be out. I don't see a lot of minutes for him, Damo, because I just think the last thing you need is to disrupt that rotation, but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
You've got a view to the postseason with Ty Webster. You're just trying to make sure that he's 100% come the end of the regular season, so he's playing his best basketball in about a month.
We always talk about Bryce Cotton in the lead up to any game that is being played, but he's coming off 3 games where shooting percentage doesn't look great, Damo. I mean, this is a concern, but he's a superstar.
Look, I don't see it as a concern. I see numbers that are lower than expected when it comes to the percentages he's shooting and more attempts than what you'd probably usually see from the superstar. But I think he tried to shoot his way back into form after averaging close to 40 points a game at the back end of December, early January. But when the game counted on the line, 4th quarter, into overtime, he stood up, and it didn't matter what percentage he shot going into those key moments. He made him drop, and he almost carried the team to victory.
Felt like he was a little tired. We were chatting.
Yeah, I just looked at that, and over the 3 games, I mean, this guy has to fight over every screen. He gets punched, kicked, pushed, everything that he does. The bottom line is, it's the 4th quarter, you want that guy with the ball in the hand. There's no question about it. But he just looked like he had to take a lot of tough shots, and that were the ones were a little bit short in the last game.
The summer shootout, been a great concept. I've loved it, and a chance tonight because it's a summer shootout game. South East Melbourne have decided they're going to come to Perth and they're going to score more than 111 points. I'm pumped for that.
Do you think the coaches talk about it? Hey guys, they're disrespecting us. They're coming to our home floor. They think they can put on 111 plus to take care of business. And imagine being a Cairns Taipans player right now, sitting on top of this competition, potentially 50K coming your way. Brad Rose, if you're a Taipans player, you'd surely be tuning into this.
Shout out to the captain. You are right there. You've got the whole team sitting there, and we've got 50 grand ready for him, and the whole East Coast are waiting for it.
Well, if a guy by the name of Matt Hurd starts to fire up like we expect him to, all NBL first team contender, coming off 29.6 rebounds against Tassie. If he fires up like we know he can, then they can easily score more than 111 points.
Absolute superstar so far this season. You talk about all NBL first team, his resume or his CV. I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
He has to be in that team when they do come out in a couple of weeks' time. But he can do a little bit of everything, as you've seen. He can put it on the floor, he can dribble, he likes to post up, especially if he thinks he has a mismatch, and he can obviously spread the floor and knock down threes when called upon.
The important thing is that man needs to touch the ball on most possessions. I'm not saying he needs to shoot it, but good things happen. Nathan Sobey had 10 assists last week, and that's why that guy was shooting at a 65% clip for his 29 points.
Only 24 years of age as well. Sign him up, Phoenix. Keep him here for the next 3 years. Let's take a look. Starting 5, Owen Foxwell is in there. Joe Wieskamp has really turned it around since the last time we saw him here in Perth, where he barely got some court time. We know what Sobey can do. We know what Hurt can do. And Jordan Hunter, love him in the middle. Massive change for the Perth Wildcats. Keanu Pinder has been coming off the bench in recent games.
I like this.
They are so desperate now to win games of basketball. They get the big man straight back into the action.
Well, a couple of times when they announced their starting lineup, Lockie, you said, okay, so they're sticking with this lineup when we saw a couple of the other guys in there. But Dylan Windler's the surprising one for me. Keanu Pinder, he deserves to be a starter. There's no doubt about that. But Dylan Windler, after missing some games, I thought they might ease him back in after that eye injury. They realised the importance this player brings to their team, and he's gone straight back into that starting 5.
We're underway. Summer shootout. Can the Phoenix get over 111? Get themselves some cash at the end of the season, but more importantly, they want to be as high up on the ladder as possible. And Foxwell has just been a revelation in recent games. So too Wieskamp is getting aggressive. Hunter tempted from outside. 8 on the shot clock. A little bit of speed there from Foxwell. He just couldn't finish the play. As you say, Windler coming straight into the action. 0 and 5 when he doesn't play the Cats. He'll look inside towards Pinder. And
Dave, I'm just interested, because you said Windler, you could just see his feet with that step slow, that then got beaten off the dribble, and then there. Sometimes you just need to sit down and watch a little bit. I think that's where you were getting it from, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets himself going.
You can't replicate game speed, especially coming back from injuries. I dare say he spent some time on a stationary bike. It doesn't matter how many kilometres you rack up. There's something different about being out there in a stance, guarding someone, especially someone a prolific scorer like Owen Foxwell.
Here's Sobey, good little feed inside, and Hunter completes the play with a slam.
Best screen and roller in the game. I've said it many times, and there's a bad turnover from Perth. But Jordan Hunter, great screen. And then, of course, Sobey finding him on the dish, and he goes up and throws it down. Look at this. This is what he does so well. Great pass. Throws it down.
We know Sobey can score, but when he's getting 10 assists like he has recently, that's the sort of player we want to see. As Louise Campbell take on the big man underneath the basket for Perth. Can't make the play go.
It's a good point you make about Nathan Sobey. I love seeing him more balanced out there, getting into pick and roll situations, probing into the keyway. We know he can score it from anywhere on the floor, but getting his teammates involved, make them look better, make him look better, and it results in the team getting 100 plus on a regular occurrence.
He's upped his game to 21 points a game in January and December, so starting to get on the scoreboard. And as we said, just when he's on, when he's passing the ball around, such a valuable player. He looks inside again for Hunter. He's going to cause some issues early in this game.
And that's what I love. Maybe 8 weeks ago, he might have shot that Sobey, but he is looking for his big man on the roll. And then goes up. This is the shot.
That one rattled around from Benny Henschel. Great start for the Phoenix. More points probably coming their way. Hunter underneath. Just couldn't get it to go. Too little. Picks up the crumbs on the break. Henschel stops, props, sends it all the way. Who needed that? The Cats, because Phoenix had absolutely dominated the first minute and a half of this game. Really good. It's been such an exciting team to watch. Scoring big totals. Defense is great. The all-round team. Sobey gets some room, sends it away. He's hurt. Good to see him early in the game. Under pressure, falling to the baseline and still gets it. Six plays through. Sobey will be called for that one. Hunter, the early scorer with the 4 points.
Well, it's a good start for both teams. I mean, Perth have missed the dunk, and you see that, but they're getting their right shots. Both teams feeling each other out at the moment. And here comes Bryce Cotton to see what he's going to do on the pass.
With 3 on him on that occasion. Pinder off the glass. He's really good against Cairns.
Well, the reason I like them starting him is, for me, if they want to go deep in a championship, they need that man playing and playing good. 20 minutes a game is not enough. They need him 30 minutes at least, and starting is the right thing.
He's hurt again with the fadeaway. Oh, my goodness me.
Wow.
Looks so casual, looks so easy, and he'll do it all night long.
Larry Bird-esque, that one.
Yes.
That's unguardable.
Here's Pinder again. And he draws the foul.
And again, I'll go and talk about Pinder here. I like what Phoenix are doing, and they're just taking Bryce Cotton out of the game in a sense. They're just absolutely denying him, and you'll see it. Here's that pass, and Sobey, another. Still give that an assist, I reckon, but look at this turn now, just one-legged. Looks like Damian Martin in the corner at Perth Arena.
Oh, Brad, I can guarantee you I never made one of those.
Would have been a fluke if it did go in.
I still would have got subbed out for even attempting it.
But as I was saying there with Pinder, I love the fact that they take Bryce out, so Pinder with his energy, bang, straight to the hole and gets the three-point play.
He plays 8. Little crossover from Sobey. Pinder attacked it. Now on the other end of the court, the little pass was a bit awkward. Came into the hands of Henschel to Doolittle, and he nails it. Such a crucial game, this one. So much on the line in terms of the ladder. These two teams just sit outside the top 3, but as Louise Camp takes it and will draw the foul. The last 23 NBL champions have finished in the top 3. So wins so important for these two in particular to give themselves a chance to put the heat on Sydney, to a lesser extent on Melbourne. You would think Melbourne's going to finish in second position, but anything can happen in the final games.
And percentage is massive as well. So it's one thing to win, but you're also trying to win by a big margin and hold other teams to a lower score. All of it comes into play at the back end of the regular season.
How about this guy? He wasn't really performing at the beginning of the season. There was just something you knew that he was going to get going. But in the last 8 games, double figures in every one of them. He's got athleticism. His shot is just beautiful to watch. And I think he's been one of the main reasons why they've been performing when they lost their point guard. He's really stepped up with Derek Walton Jr. out.
There were concerns for him too. We remember Damo and I were calling the game when Josh King first arrived on the scene, and Wildcats sat on the bench for pretty much the whole game. I'm not even sure whether he got minutes. And you started to think, is he in his plans for the future? Well, credit to Josh King and also to the player himself for getting themselves into the action and getting up to using his potential and playing to his potential.
You know what's better than talking about a player in form? Defense. How good has Owen Foxwell been to start this game? He caused an early turnover, got his hand in the deflection on another, and then drew a charge there.
He's hurt again. He'll like the pressure.
They should name an award after you, mate. You seem to love the defense.
There's some more points coming for the Phoenix. It's been fantastic. That ball came out of their hands. Now, the ref that was on the baseline made no call, but he was called on.
Damo, I do want to ask you this question because I'm watching, and not a lot of clubs do this, which I think they should do more, and that is face guard Bryce. So literally it's, we're going to play 4-on-4, let's just not him touch the ball. Now, you would have been playing with him in those situations. Offensively, now it's 4-on-4. What should Perth be doing?
We can still take advantage of it. Just got to make sure you're also occupying weak side help. So you've got someone stepping in, or you've got a shooter spacing the floor, because if you're top-siding someone, you're essentially giving up a backdoor cut.
Right.
So how do you make sure you can still punish them by trying to take BC out of the game that way? And then 4-on-4 means there is more space for the rest of the guys.
True.
So try and utilise that, get in a pick-and-roll situation, because, again, there's a good chance there's no one standing under the ring for blocking shots, because they're too concerned about where BC is and making sure they're always guarding 1.5 players at a time. So we used to do a 1-4 set, try and get as much space as possible with no one under the ring, or a couple of back picks, and then offer staggers as well, so that Bryce can then choose whether he's going left or right off a couple of pin-down screens.
Amazing. Once again, they go to Hurt, and why not? He turns around and sends another one all the way through the hoop with a swisher.
Well, he even looked at his own teammate shaking his head. He's the only one that can stop him tonight. He's amazing.
He's got, he'll throw it up firm. Glover, quick to the rack, puts the pressure on. Wildcats in the corner, doesn't go. Rice on the break, Amanza on the fast break as well. He's underneath, he'll get an easy 2 and off the glass. Up and down they go. 15-14, halfway through this first term. So promising signs for that big score. Foxwell, Glover, long way out. He's on target, just a little short.
Yeah.
Evan out to Doolittle, and Doolittle has a bit of a stumble. He ran the wrong way, shakes his head to a little with the turnover. 15-14 that score.
Oh, there's a stop here. You look at Doolittle, and Perth have been trying to sign him. I'll tell you what, we mentioned it earlier, Matt Hurt. That is the signature Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. There's been a bit of talk going on. That is the signature they need to lock up.
Yeah. Young man, big future. Here's Glover, feeds it off into the corner. Nick Lewis's shot a little firm. And there's a foul in there, reaching in. So Ben out.
At the moment, obviously, Southeast Melbourne contracted for next year. Owen Foxwell, Angus Glover, Jordan Hunter and Malik Lewis. So they've got a big off-season coming up, and that is the guy, Damo, that I would be putting the house on right now.
Well, you make a lot of decisions based around whether you get that contract signed. If you get that contract signed, then how do we play to his strengths? How do we make the most out of our superstar? That relationship, that chemistry he's got with Nathan Sobey, you want to keep that. If you don't sign him, how do you replace someone who's come in and taken his league by storm?
Yeah. And Nathan Sobey is a neutral option, by the way, so there's that's not locked in, so it's important.
Simon Mitchell's got a lot of money. He'll be right. He's got it all in his back pocket. He'll get the deal done. Yeah, we'll pass inside again. Hurt again. Another 2. He is dominating this game. So good to see. As Bryce is showing some skills, but he's yet to get on the scoreboard. He's in the corner. Pepper lands a 3-pointer. Sobey decides to shoot away. That one doesn't go. 4 points to margin. Ben Air all over him. keeping the pressure on. Cotton finds his way to the hoop, but under pressure again, and Lewis charging down the other end, does really well. Finger roll superb.
Well, how about these next stars? Both of them really playing some beautiful basketball, but that is an athlete. Grabs it off the rim, 2 hard dribbles. Now it's just a one-on-one situation. Great job from the next star.
And down the other end, Doolittle goes at the youngster and draws the foul. Lewis has a bit of a quiet patch. His last 5 games, 3 points, 3 points, 5, 2 and 5. So it's been great, but he's sort of feeling his way through this league, and that was a really good basket on the Amy replay.
Well, it's a tough thing to teach, and that's what a lot of kids, they'll take that rebound down and then they'll stop. Being the athlete he is, he took the rebound and just 1, 2 hard dribbles, and now he's out in the open, and as an athlete, you're going to lay that up.
Doolittle get his first. Once again, he's amongst the points. He's got the 8. Leading the way, though, is Matt Hurt on 10. It's back to a 4-point ball game. Aquera comes on. Doolittle has a bit of a rest.
See Ty Webster checking in as well. Be good to see how his hamstring goes, how his body's feeling after such a long period of time on the sideline. Great to see him back out there fit and healthy.
Here's Lewis again, trying to be nice and aggressive. Yeah, has to put it on the floor. Back out to Lewis as well. And he just got to the ball from Aquera with enough pressure on. Whittler from a long way just stops. Can't make it go. Well done by Amanta. Brought it down. Pepper just trailed out towards the 3-point line. Keen for another big bomb. Lewis will feed Kenyon, and he'll finish with the 2. So good response down the other end from the Phoenix.
There's about 4 retreat dribbles just to get behind the 3-point line to let it fly.
Two points now, that margin. Webster. Little carry. Aquera. Drops it. Did a couple of those against Melbourne United on the Wednesday nights. The important stage of the game makes it a 5-point ball game. Ty Webster's had 5 soft tissue injuries this season. It's been a tough one for him, just the 13 games. Ben Air, nice play. Found the room underneath the rack, drops it in for 2.
They brought Ty Webster in to be a starter, but it is the one position where they are fortunate enough to have enough depth. Benny Henschel stepped up whilst Webster has been out. Elijah Pepper, as you see, with ball in hand, he doesn't mind putting points on the board. As you see, Windler try and drop one deep, no good.
Couldn't get it down the other end as well. Glover quick as ever. And he's fouled as he goes to the hoop. So he'll slowly get up and head to the foul line, and 4 changes for the Perth
it's a
Wildcats.
fast-paced game. You don't often see this. 4 Perth Wildcats coming in. The only guy that's going to stay on the court is Ty Webster. Local Monday night comp for Damian Martin.
I was just thinking, you normally see that if the team's started horribly and you're trying to send a message, but I think you're right, just this up-tempo game. Little breather right before quarter time.
It actually feels like a really good game, and both teams are playing great basketball. There's been, you know, Southeast Melbourne had a couple of layups, so you can argue some defensive transitions. They've let some plays go where Perth have hit some shots, but both teams looking like playoff teams and come to play tonight.
Angus Glover gets himself a piece of the action. Webster decided not to go all the way. Here's Cotton. He'll get on the board now.
What a shock when Jesse Wagstaff comes in. He just looks for him every time, knows where he's going to be. It's such simple basketball watching those two play.
Pass inside. This is going to be the concern for the Perth Wildcats. That man is a huge unit. And he'll be hard to stop. They don't really have a big today. Perth, Amans is probably their tallest, and you've got Pindu, who's a big unit, but he's not oversized tall when you compare him to, say, Jordan Hunter. He's athletic, and he's on the move to the basket again. It rolls around. Hunter will haul it in.
Good decision. Good decision. They could have shot the easy one, but no, get the last one.
They'll wind it down for the last shot. Glover stepped back. Didn't make it go. And an entertaining start to this game. It's just a 1-point margin, 27-26. It's the Cats in front, just. Welcome back. Champion looking after us for the Pride round. Hungry Jacks NBL is on fire at the moment, and so too is this man, the big fella Jordan Hunter. And Matt Hertz starring for Phoenix, but they trail by just 1 at quarter time, 27-26. The score, what did you make of that first term, Brad?
Look, I thought it was a great quarter. I thought both teams were feeling each other out. You could argue that there was some negatives and positives on both ways, but I thought they were great. And good news for Cairns is they're only getting 104 points so far, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, so Cairns is still winning.
It's still in it. The Phoenix since Christmas, 105 points per game. The best in the competition since the Christmas break, as Henschel is a little firm on that shot.
Yeah, go through Hurt here. That's nice. Let him go to work. He's fine one-on-one. And that step back, well, brilliant. Of course, he misses, as I say.
Yeah, as you pump him up. But he won't miss too many of those. They go to the post here, the Wildcats. Hunter up against Pinder, tucks it under his arm. Hunter slaps it out of his hands, and it's out of court. It'll be a Phoenix ball. Still 1 point that margin. So yet to score. There might be a chance here. He'll get himself to the line, which is always nice when you're a guard and you just need to get some points on the board for some confidence.
Just went straight at the body of Keanu Pinder. Didn't want to make it an aerial game, wanted to make sure he drew some contact, and the sole goal of that one was to shoot some freebies.
Well, I watched him last week, and I only had 9 points and 0 in the first quarter, but a career equaling 10 assists for the game, and it was just, we've spoken about it before, it's just such a huge play when Nathan Selby's playing like that. I know sometimes as commentators we can be harsh on him because we just know how good he is, and he is capable of taking a team forward. But that is not with him having 30 and 40 points, Damo.
Well, in years gone by, or seasons gone by, you might look at the scoreboard and say, hang on, Soaps had 0 points in the first quarter. He's having a quiet night. Instead, he was one of the most influential players on the floor in the first 10 minutes. He got his teammates involved. That pick and roll was amazing. He made all the right decisions. And now at times, he's going to pick and choose when it's his time to try and put points on the board.
And that's where you've got to give credit to a coaching staff. That is changing a guy mid-season. This is what we need from him.
He's done a good job on the defensive end on that occasion. So Phoenix will get it in their front court again. Toby with Henschel trying to stop him. That one's just a little nearly tapped it back in for Phoenix. Got Henschel on the break. No one comes to him. He likes that. He's very comfortable just inside the key. Just around the foul line. It rarely misses.
Mr. Mid-range, already up to 11 points. He's playing incredible basketball of late. He's just found his groove, he's found his spots, and he's patient in getting to them.
Now the control on that occasion from Jordan Hunter. Foxwell again, all over Bryce. Into the corner it goes. Henschel will send a little jumper on its way for another 2. So lots of points and a margin of 3 now for the Cats. Foxwell looking inside, but decides to go to Hurt. Good option. Wieskamp receives it from him. Now forced to put it on the floor. Well done. Little ride by on Henschel. And a nice little one-hander straight into the hoop. Bruce Webster getting a few more minutes early in the game than I would have thought. But they must be pretty confident with that hamstring. Really only started training last Friday for the first time, and Hurt will be called for that foul. Just tried to get his position and copped Webster a little high.
Well, Foxwell's coming off as well. What an outstanding job. Just been watching him and watch Ben Air do it now. Literally face guarding Bryce Cotton the whole way up and down the court. They're obviously got a game plan to wear him out over 40 minutes.
Well, they probably look at how Melbourne United, they took him on as well. I mean, he got Shea Ely, best defender in the league. He got Matthew Dellavedova. They had that 1-2 punch, and they did a pretty handy job on Bryce Cotton. And I think Southeast looking at their roster going, okay, we're going to replicate that this time with Foxwell and Air.
But it's not surprising to this coach as well. It's what it's all about that.
Foul will go on Doolittle, who leads the game, or is the game high scorer with 11 points, 10 to Matt Hurt. It's such a bright start in that first term. Hurt slowed down just a touch. 3 points to margin. Here's Hurt. Pinder didn't come out to him. And just off targets. Glover will be reaching in there, so Angus Glover called for that foul. Earlier tonight, Adelaide defeated by Brisbane. Surprised me enough that I nearly stuffed it up on that occasion, but it also does mean that the winner of this game will get himself guaranteed in the top 5. Then hopefully for either of them, a little bit higher than that. Glover feeding it back to Hurt. Comes out of his hands. And he goes again up against Pinder. Just nudged him out of the way. That shot doesn't go. Here's Ben Air, off balance, still gets it in. The little man defending and scoring at the same time.
And give that to Wieskamp for crashing the offensive glass as well. Was able to get the deflection and Ben Air in the right spot.
The foul was on the pass on that occasion.
Just feels when Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, Damo, go down and play a half-court set, they're so much better when it gets through some hands. I know they missed that shot, which was a good offense in getting Hurt the ball, but then they're in the right position, where the few possessions before that, it was 1 or 2 passes and a quick shot.
So Wieskamp with a couple of fouls, he'll sit down. Here's Pepper, air in his face. It's to Doolittle. He'll be very keen to take on that matchup, and the basket won't go. There'll be a foul, though. Hurt had that rebound just nudged out the way. So it'll be a Phoenix ball. Nice foul on Dylan Windler. So 33-32 that score. A little over 5 remaining before half-time in the Pride round. Brought to you by Champion. These two teams in the championship mix, don't you worry about that. So much to play out in the coming days and week. But for the moment, the points and the win, the W, all important. Glover down to Hurt. Back it in on Doolittle. And under pressure, gets it to go again off the glass.
Yeah, they're playing a simple game. They know what is working for them. It's getting into pick and roll situations in offensive transition. Otherwise, let's slow it down, roll it into the post and see if they can stop Hurt.
Binder again continues to be really aggressive. You just feel like his confidence has changed. I know he's come off a good game against Cairns, but all of a sudden now he's in the starting 5. Now I'm the main man, and I'm going to try and take it to the rack as much as possible.
Yeah, loving how aggressive he's been to start this game. I think as soon as he touched the ball in the first quarter, he went straight off the dribble. He's using his athleticism and his speed to try and get around some of the bigger bodies that South East Melbourne have.
That one will rattle around. Jesse Wagstaff keen to get amongst the action, Brad. He'll be playing game 499 tonight.
Yep.
And 500 in Sydney.
Amazing.
On the weekend, you'll be calling the game.
I believe his family will be there, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, like the man next to me, he's a New South Welshman.
Oh, mate, I don't know if he wants to hear that. He's a Canberra boy. He's proud.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, good point.
He refers to it as the Oasis.
He's from the eastern side of Australia.
No, I can see his wife and kids in attendance tonight, and they will. They'll jump on a plane and be there for an incredible milestone for one of the all-time great Wildcats.
Oh, the lane opens up there for Angus Glover, and he makes sure that one goes in. So Phoenix have jumped out to a lead here. Good response in this second term. Windler likes it from a long way out. Decides this time he's going to go inside. Comes off the hands of Doolittle. A lot of frustration in the Wildcats players at the moment, in particular Doolittle. Nearly losing at Ben Air. Get it back again, though. Glover sees the match up there, and Windler, once again, a lot of body contact on that occasion. Now, he might be in a little bit of foul trouble for Dylan Windler.
Jesse.
He's got the 3.
Well, he'll come out of the game.
He'll come out.
I'm looking at these scores and I'm seeing 36 from the Phoenix on 0 of 7 from the three-point line. Now, you think not shooting well, but what I love is they've shot 32 shots, so they're playing good basketball. Damo, exactly what you're saying, rolling it in there and let them play.
And they're taking care of the ball. They did not cough up 1 turnover in the first quarter. They've only got 1 total for the whole game so far, so they may not be making the shots, but at least they're not giving up easy ones, and they're giving themselves a chance because they're getting a shot up each possession.
Yeah. Which then helps your defensive transition, so good point.
Kennedy called for that foul, a little bit of reach again, trying to put some extra pressure on Bryce Cotton. They've done a good job on Bryce so far, just the 2 points. We've spoken a lot about this, the summer shootout competition. To celebrate the finale of the summer shootout, a signed Scottie Pippen or Carmelo Anthony jersey will be given to 2 lucky fans. Scan the QR code and enter your details for your chance to win. Are you a Scottie Pippen or Carmelo fan?
He's serious, mate. I think Carmelo Anthony hit 8 threes against the Boomers at the Rio Olympics. So, yeah, Scottie Pippen.
He's a Pippen.
Scottie Pippen. Here's Glover. Been very proactive. Hurt had it stolen out of his hands. Webster on the break to Cotton, another 2.
And that's what Ty Webster can bring this team. Good timeout here from the coach, but Ty Webster fully aware of what Matt Hurt was going to do, a spin, but before he had a chance, Ty Webster gets the ball, and you see it here. Look at this, spins, steals, goes, and what does he do? Finds his man. The MVP of the league gives him an easy 2.
There's the Amy replay, looking after us. We might check in on Josh King in a few moments' time. The Tangerine timeout. Gee, he's been good since he's come into this league, hasn't he? He's turned this franchise around. 0-5 to start the season. They're now a contender. Here he is, Josh King.
Hey, press break here. Let's go Wildcat shorts. Wildcat shorts. Benny, initiate it. Go get glove. Hit. Set it, Jordy. Roll it, Jordy. Set it, Benny. Set it. Set it. Glove you might have downhill, you'll have out here. Hey, stay calm right here, boys. We're good. But we got to get shots up. Play without fear. Hey, they are the helping from here so much. Get feet in the paint. Play off two. See the corner. Press break. More time short.
38-36 is the score. Did he say, let's go the Wildcats short?
Yeah, I
or
think
shorts?
Short typically is how you guard an on-ball screen, but it sounded like that was an offensive set. So they might actually have an offensive play coming up that sounded a lot like it was called Wildcat short.
To be fair, he lost me at hello.
All right, we'll see what they get up to here.
One of the other keys here for South East Melbourne is you do not want to foul. They're in the bonus. This is where they can get cheap points, get Bryce Cotton going. They've had a lot of foul shots over games, and there's a good turnover.
There's a steal from Bryce again. Got a little bit more energy in this game.
Correction, I should say good steal by Bryce Cotton. Now you go to him. He's made some layups. He's hit some free throws. You want the ball in his hand.
He's got the 6 points. Doolittle still leads the way with 11. And leading the game, he's hurt on 12. Penny Air responds nicely down the other end. Good little fadeaway from him. Off balance. Like it.
And he's the type of player I've got to give credit to for staying ready.
Yeah.
He wasn't seeing court time early in the regular season, but he kept working hard on the floor, outside of training, just in case his name was called. And he's responded well with the confidence his coach has given him.
Bryce has landed awkwardly. He's in a little bit of pain. Ben Ayre's going to make him pay from a long way out.
Well, I'm just watching Bryce Cotton here. When he pulled up for that jump shot, he came down. I don't know if it was the knee, the leg, and he looks quite sore. Ben Ayre's going to face guard him here, but he's got himself on the other side of the court. We'll certainly be watching that.
Webster trying to do a little bit of fadeaway action. He does too. So, good return from Ty Webster. Lewis, little handoff. Kenyon back out to the top. Glover. And running the show well. And he's been given the chance. Lewis charging into Wagstaff, a blocking foul on Jesse.
Let's just watch this replay here. Have a look at Bryce. He'll come over and beautiful. Breaks the screen here, jumps up, and then as he comes down, right here, you just see the limp. There it is there. Oh. Ankle, knee. Damo, what do you think?
I don't know, more a knee. It didn't really look a lot, did it? Wasn't like he landed awkwardly, certainly on the ankle, so maybe it's just more the knee. Shoelaces up, nearly tricked me.
It didn't look much to it. The old tighten the shoelaces might do the trick.
Usually when you tie the shoelaces, though, that is twist to the ankle a little bit, and they'll tighten it up, so...
But it didn't look like he sort of landed with a roll to either side of the ankle.
Oh, he'll probably only have 35 tonight.
Not if Ben Ayre and Foxwell continue to do a good job.
Well, I do like this substitution because Ben Ayre stayed on the court because offensively he's doing a good job, but Foxwell had done a very good job of denying him the ball, like he's trying there again.
He's caught the knees all right now, or ankle, whatever. The hand is smooth.
Well, this is what happens. The guy gets a couple of layups and he gets going, and next thing you know, he's got 20.
He's got 11 now into double figures. Ben Ayre through the legs, looks inside. Foxwell with a floater. That is nice work. So they continue to have the answers, South East Melbourne. 45-45 is the score. It's come to play here in Perth. Webster sees an opening with the right hand, doesn't go. And it'll still be a... No, Phoenix ball. John really keen to have a look at it. It will be a Phoenix ball. So John really looking at the big screen now, which is showing the play. He went straight to his video guys. They pointed to the big screen to say, don't look at me, have a look at yourself.
I would hate to be a video guy.
That's the worst job
the worst
in
job.
the game.
It's just so...
It's brutal.
Oh, from that did look like it was coming off Perth, but that was very quick.
And there again, winding his way through traffic. Basket doesn't go. Pass in was to Pepper. Pinder's on the break. Pepper was playing for the foul. Didn't get one. Pinder up against Hurt. Some fancy footwork from Keanu. And he puts it in for 2.
Beautiful move by Pinder. Great footwork.
Minute to go. Been an arm wrestle. Oh, dear me! With the left hand, couldn't make it go down the other end. Pepper will. Josh King wants the chats. Jordan Hunter just doesn't want to look at the coach at the moment. But I think there was a little smile there. It was a fantastic move. If it was completed, that would have been an absolute highlight for the season.
I could see you just willing it to go, and you want to get up off your seat, and so close.
That high-pitched voice was ready to go up there, wasn't it?
It was about to get a bit croaky, it was. Oh, dear. Good response, though, at the other end from the Wildcats. So 49-45 is the score. It feels like just a bit of a roller coaster ride. I'll talk more about that. Tangerine timeout. Damien Martin caught up with Christian Doolittle, star of the Cats.
Christian, tough loss last week, double overtime loss at home versus Cairns Taipans. How's the week on court been?
It's been good. You know, we were disappointed with the outcome of that game, but, you know, we watched film about it, and then we moved on to our game today against Southeast.
Your personal form, I think you're going through a purple patch, playing some great basketball at both ends. What have you made of your recent 3 or 4 rounds?
You know, I've been pleased with how I've been playing, but ultimately I'm focused on winning. Unfortunately, we lost 2 games in a row, and hoping to turn that around tonight.
Do you pay much attention to the ladder? A lot on the line for those paying attention to the ladder, or is it just one game at a time in your eyes?
Personally, I don't pay attention to it. You know, I focus on one game at a time, trying to win 1 game in a row each time.
When it comes to Southeast Melbourne, what do you see as their strengths?
They're a fast-paced team. They play very well together. They have a lot of guys who can score a lot of points in a multitude of ways. It's going to require us to focus in on our scout that we have prepared for them, you know, and play our best.
Important player for the Perth Wildcats with the playoffs just around the corner. So much talked about too with his future during the week. He's keen to stay in Perth long term.
Good move too by Perth.
Yeah. He'll be signing him up for sure. Under a minute to go. Glover quick to shoot away. It was short. Tap back into his hands. A chance to reset. Hurt backing in. Up against Doolittle. And then a tap-in was good from Hunter. Kept on working, had 2 goes at it.
And it's smart offense, Lockie. They're getting the ball to Matt Hurt. He's missed a couple of gimmies in these last things, but because they're running good offense, it's allowing Jordan Hunter just to tap the ball and be around the rim. And this man, he's starting to feel it. I know it was a bit short there.
They're certainly feeding him as well.
1 of 9, the Phoenix, from the 3-point line, and only 2 points down.
3 Wildcats in double figures. The 12 points for Matt Hurt. Foxwell been terrific, and another 2 points to him. Great finish to the corner from Southeast Melbourne. They were down by 4. They levelled it all up. It's 49 apiece. Good fight from the visitors.
You know what? This game deserves to be a tie at the moment and drawn at halftime because both teams are playing extremely good basketball, and it's a great game and fighting for climbing up the ladder. Both teams have been brilliant.
Yep, they certainly have. Leading the way is Matt Hurt with 12 points for the Phoenix. As I said, just 8 points for Jordan Hunter, who's been good, and Ben Eyre with 9. So they've been the scorers so far in the game. Here's Damo, courtside.
Keanu Pinder back in the starting 5 and had a great first 20 minutes. What did you make of it?
Just going out there and trying to do my job, man. Nothing else to it.
What did you make of Southeast? Obviously tied ball game going into halftime. Matt Hurt, what's it like guarding him and the speed of the game? Love to hear your thoughts on both those things.
Man, I think we need to guard the ball better, man. They're getting downhill on us, pick and roll. You know, it's good for them, but we're struggling right now with that stuff. And Matt Hurt's doing a great job. Is it Matt Hurt? Yeah. Yeah, he's doing a great job down low. So you know, we got to figure out a way to stop him. So yeah.
And finally, your mindset, it seems every time you see the ball on the block, you're backing yourself to go off the dribble and go in with your athleticism?
Of course, man. That's what I do. So I'm not worried about that. You know, I'm just going to try and play my game, yeah.
Best of luck in the second half.
Pinder, one of the Wildcat stars in this game. 10 points, 11 to Cotton, 11 to Doolittle. We're all tied up, though. The Cats and the Phoenix fighting for the playoffs. An intriguing battle inside the jungle. It's the Perth Wildcats and Southeast Melbourne Phoenix going at it, and we're all tied up, gents. It has been just an arm wrestle so far.
It really has. I thought that they found, okay, let's just keep going to Matt Hurt, and then all of a sudden the Wildcats made adjustments. He had 10 in the first quarter, only 2 in the second, so they started to move the ball. Then the Wildcats started getting some stops, getting out into transition, and Bryce Cotton came alive, and that's why we're seeing a 49-point game each. I can't separate the two teams, neither can the scoreline.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think both teams have done really well where they've been able to cope with the runs that other teams have got. Southeast were hurting Perth. They've adjusted. Then it was like the other way around, so we are in for a great second half.
Let's take a look at the Hungry Jacks highlights, because this man started on fire. He was doing Larry Bird stuff. He was just shooting from anywhere. The fadeaways were looking good. Matt Hurt, love watching him play.
Well, simply put, that move you just saw there on your screen, you cannot guard that unless you're willing to go and throw a double team at him. He's backing himself in. Yes, he had the 10 first quarter points. He kept going back to that shot in the second. I don't know if the Wildcats have necessarily made adjustments. I think he still got the looks he wanted. They just weren't dropping in the second. Can he replicate his performance in the first 10 minutes in the back half of this game?
And that's a good point you make, Domo, because he was missing some simple ones, but the other thing that created was for the Jordan Hunsons and the other guys to get on the glass and be able to get the tip-ins, and more importantly, stop defensive transition for Perth. You look at the Blackmore shot chart there, you can't ask for much more. Shooting 60%, 0-1 from the 3, but they really haven't dropped the ball at all. Southeast Melbourne with the 3-point line, but a great half from Matt Hurt.
So Matt Hurt's been a star for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Well, of course, Bryce Cotton, we talk about him each and every week. He needed some baskets in transition, didn't he, just to get himself going. He was a slow starter, but all of a sudden got a few fast breaks and it changed his whole game.
It's amazing what seeing the ball go through the ring just one time can do to a prolific scorer like Bryce Cotton. Early in the game, though, credit to him, he was being unselfish. He realised he was drawing so much attention. He got his teammates involved. A couple of steals, a couple of easy layups, and all of a sudden he's riding this game with double digits again.
I know this man next to me got to play alongside him, but watching him live is always a treat. You just see how hard he has to work, and he only shot 8 shots, but the amount of miles that he has to do on this court, he is just an absolute superstar.
It was Brad Rosen-like, wasn't it, back in the 90s, that sort of stuff? No?
Why, was he on the bench?
Nah, well, what are your thoughts? I mean, it's all tied up at the moment. There is so much on the line, all jostling for playoff spots. What are your thoughts right now? Who breaks away in this game?
If I'm Southeast Melbourne, I'm trying to play out of the pick-and-roll situation or rolling in the post to their superstar in Matt. Otherwise, if I'm the Wildcats, I want to try and fast this. I want to speed up the game. I want to get out in transition, have multiple guys in double digits already. But this is Bryce Cotton's team. I expect him to see more of the ball, him to be running plays so that he can have, you know, a few more points on the board.
Completely agree with Damo. A fast-paced Perth win this. A slow half-court game, Southeast Melbourne win this.
All right, plenty to come your way, so keep watching the NBL. It's all tied up. Wildcats and Phoenix inside the jungle.
As a young kid, I always knew that I wasn't just a heterosexual. When I was younger, that was something that I was always super aware of. It was something that I always knew about myself, but was always too scared to talk about because I didn't think I would be accepted. Basketball, for me, was like so much anxiety, and I always was comparing myself to other people because I felt like the cookie cutter for an Australian basketball player looked like a certain thing, and I didn't feel like I fit that. I was diagnosed with depression when I was 17. I spent time in a psychiatric ward in a hospital.
That was the year that Annalie came home from the AIS, and she was really quite ill, and it is a hard time even now to think about. God, it's been a while since I've thought about it. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, watching your daughter struggle like that, she was really ill. She basically disappeared for a year, both sort of in herself, but physically as well. So it was terrifying. It was really terrifying. And I suppose that comes back to just a sense of wonder and amazement now at what she's been able to do.
I'm very lucky that I had my family support, not just through my mental health issues, but also like figuring out who I was. Like coming out to my family was the easiest thing ever.
Resilience is something she has in spades. She has worked through so many challenges, and yet she keeps excelling.
You have to learn to love yourself, as hard as that is, and accept all the parts of yourself that you don't love. I think that's my advice, yeah.
So powerful. Well done to Annalie. We love having her on board in the commentary team. She's got the big game tomorrow, so not part of the action, and the chance to celebrate Champions Pride round. Champion in the NBL, they're giving you the opportunity to win a VIP experience for 2 at the NBL25 finals game. Scan the QR code or head to nbl.com.au/win to enter. Join in all the fun. Now, that was very powerful, wasn't it?
Wasn't that? I was sitting here and I'm just thinking to myself, good on you for talking about it. Like that takes immense courage, and I mean, what a great job she does here in the commentary team as well. But seeing Paul Maley as well, what a player he was.
Favourites, one of the favourites, the big band. The North Melbourne Giants back in the day.
Your favourite team growing up?
North Melbourne was, yes. I was a Giants man, no doubt about that. As Foxwell will get the first points within seconds of starting the second half.
That's right. You are from Melbourne.
I'm a Melbourne boy. Yes, I am. Yeah, moved over here 30 years ago this year.
When you were 50. Sorry, I feel like I was Damo when I said that.
The funny thing is, he's still got combs at home. He just can't part with them.
It's a shame Annalie's not here. She's a better person than you two. Don't worry about that. We're 3 points.
A lot, though, don't they, really? All right, back to the game. Yes. That was a nice three-point play by Foxwell.
Certainly was. That was tough. So Windler's got the 3 fouls. Concerns for him. From a Wildcats perspective, Doolittle. To the hoop he goes. Camp does really well to box out Windler and also take the boards. He's hurt.
Great defense, stop the ball penetration. Now they've got low in the clock.
Certainly do, through the legs. Taking on Bryce was Foxwell, and he is on fire at the moment. Foxwell is on the run. Great start to this third term from the young fella. Down the other end, Bryce says, okay, just simmer the action a touch. I'll take control. 3 points that margin. Still the Phoenix leading the way. Sobey, inside he goes. Oh, and once again, Hunter misses a dunk and gets it stripped out of his hands. Henschel on the break with plenty of speed, gets the 2.
Well, absolute coach killers. Thought first play there, pinned up, pulling the ball out, giving Bryce that little backcourt was great. Sobey, great pass for Southeast, but obviously Jordan misses it, and then that just allows Perth to get another score.
So much body contact on this occasion. Here's Hunter again. Out wide, Camp. Off balance still, nails the 3. It's out to 4 now. The Phoenix's lead.
He is getting better and better every game he plays this year. He's been huge these last games.
As we said, credit to him. Into the corner. Henschel never knocks back a three-point attempt. Doolittle. Does that travel? No. Henschel will give it back to Bryce. Sobey on him. No one can stop him. Round the corner he goes through the baseline and floats one up for 2. Round the back from Sobey, looks into the corner. Foxwell, Wieskamp again. Good arc on the shot, floats in, swishes away.
I know Trevor Gleeson's tuning into this one, and he'd say that's giving up a good shot for a great one. Foxwell could have shot from the corner instead. Now we'll go back to the man who just made a 3 already.
We talk about MVP of the league, and watch this man here. Everyone trying to get him. Looks like he was about to pass it, just went through 3 or 4 players. That looks easy because he is the MVP of our league, but trust me, that is so hard.
Foxwell's doing a good job, but they still can't trap him as Pinder attempts another three-pointer. He's on target, just a little firm. Nearly another foul to Windler. He's already got the 3, so he needs to watch himself. 5 points this margin. Sobey wants to make it a little more. Pinder. Oh, blocked by Hunter. Might not be able to dunk at the other end, but he's blocking shots and imposing himself on the game. 60 plays 55 will wipe a bit of sweat off the floor. As we take a look here, the pass. Hunter just gets in a nice position just to make sure Pinder doesn't get the 2. Already sitting on the 10 points, Keanu Pinder, 11 for Doolittle, 15 for Bryce Cotton, 12 for Hurt. Wieskamp now has crept himself into double figures. He's got 10. 2 of 3 from outside the arc. Cotton under pressure. Wanted the foul. Wasn't called his way. Quick pass into the corner. Once again, the shot will go up. Hunter will tap it, trying to get to his team's advantage. And it'll be a Phoenix ball. Foxwell is having one heck of a start to this quarter.
He had no right to earn that possession back for his team, but he threw his body on the line. 50-50. It wasn't even a 50-50. It was more 80-20. Looked like Bryce Cotton was going to run away with it. But Owen Foxwell's doing absolutely everything he can to help his team.
Well, he is. He's playing great. He just signed a new 2-year deal with the team, and for a well-deserved season.
Yep.
What I like is, don't wait till the end of the year. We know you're doing a good job. We know you're only going to get better. Let's sign you now, and I love that from the club.
Award for effort. Here's Wieskamp. Found a little bit of space. And once again, we've had a lot of those in under the baskets that just haven't landed for both teams. Into the corner, Webster. Looks to go to the block. Well done by Sobey, though. He read that nicely.
And that's a good point you make, Lockie, and that's where playoffs come into it. You got this feel tonight, that playoffs, and the little gimmies that you normally drop all the way through November and December and January. Right now, it's starting to get those tough ones, and you just got to concentrate that little bit more.
Owen Foxwell will sit down with 9 points to his game. There's another couple of points going Perth's way.
You asked the question earlier, how do you take advantage of a team when they're trying to topside Bryce Cotton? Getting those staggers is important because there's so much focus on him. Keanu Pinder does the right thing, just slips when he realises his defender's helping off on Bryce. Nice easy layup, great pass by Webster. Yep.
Once again, down the other end for Ty Webster. Got a lot of speed. Had time, had the footwork to go with it. He scores a 2. They'd be rapt to see how well he's gone to start this game.
Well, what is hurting, those little gimmies that Phoenix are missing, Perth are taking full advantage of and getting those layups from.
And it's still leading at the moment, though. Stolen by Henschel. Here's Glover inside. Hurt's shot is short. They have missed a few in this term. They could be up by a little bit more. Doolittle to Webster. Came off the foot of Hurts. Still be a Wildcats ball. So how about the crowds in Perth? And I know Sydney had a massive one, 16,000 recently, but Perth have had the 4 games back. They've added another 13,000 to what was nearly 40 over the first 3. So That is just a huge turnout, especially too. Their team's lost the last two. I'd be sitting at home listening to us.
Oh, you're tough. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of happy people here.
No wonder there's 13,000 people here.
Anyway, 1 point the margin. 5 remaining in this quarter. Hurt from outside 3. Rattled around. Just gone off target, hasn't he? He's gone a little cold since quarter time.
6 of 12 now from the field. 3 of 13 from the three-point line, Phoenix.
I'd be tucking the ball under the arm if I'm a Phoenix guard and just trying to get into a set next time down.
Yeah.
Pinder up against Lewis, did really well. The coach would like that. Henschel slows it down. Pinder thinks maybe I did all the hard work to get the ball back. I deserve some points. And he'll get a foul as he drove to the basket. John really claps him. And he's happy with that.
And that is the Keanu Pinder that I remember playing in Cairns and coming here and doing that. Just the energy. He had every right to let that ball go out of bounds, but no, not in this arena. Not with the man sitting next to me that dove and probably put about 3 gallons of blood out on the floor, jumping everywhere. And great work by Keanu Pinder. It's the effort areas, right, Damo? You always speak about that.
Well, we spoke at halftime that we couldn't separate these two teams. I didn't say that because I'm tired at halftime, but these are the little things that could be the point of difference between whether you take away a win or you're sulking at home over the remainder of the weekend with a loss next to your name.
Drop that one a little short. Pinned up.
Here we go. 1.
He gets the second. Relieved. All tied up again. It's the same at halftime. Sobey looks inside, decides to go towards Lewis, who just settles himself on the three-point line and drops it in. Here's Webster again. Look to feed it to Amanza. Pepper, little 1-2 action with Pinder. Pinder says, give it to me, I'm perfectly placed inside the key. There's a foul going against the Phoenix.
Well, Josh King changing it up again, putting Kenyon on here to take the ball away. And of course, we're in the summer shootout here. 111 points. Cairns.
We need these two teams to fire up a touch, Brad.
63, obviously, at the moment.
Might have to go to double overtime to get to 111.
Got some threes down, anything's possible. So Cairns might be getting out the Great Barrier Reef tomorrow, the way they're going to.
They'll be hiring a charter boat, and off they go. Phil Diesky is, oh, goodness me, Ty Webster, and he's landed very awkwardly, slow to get up. They continue to play, though. Aman's up to Cotton, had to go with the left hand right on the buzzer, and he's going to get a couple of shots. Shot clock expired as he threw it up. Here he goes again. Look at that, he just got through the little gap there, couldn't finish the play. Landing on his back, but he's up and he's okay.
Well, I'm just watching Josh King here. He was absolutely furious with his team for not getting the ball there. A couple of offensive rebounds he's given up now, and it's only 6 for the game for the Wildcats, but at important times, and he was very disappointed.
Back to a 1-point ball game. Here's Glover. Been very proactive, like his body language. Ben Air also. Kenyon back to Glover, 9 on the shot clock. Pepper gets it from him. Glover gets it back off him. Well done. Now to Ben Air. Bit of a mismatch. Outnumbered Lewis also in the corner. Could have hit back-to-back threes for him.
Well, they've got to slow it down here and go through Matt Hurt. You look at this team on the court. He needs the ball.
There's a chance again. Now he has to put it on the floor. Glover again. Been very active, and reward for effort for Angus Glover. Terrific shots. Here's Pepper. 4 points to margin. One's up. Looks to go to Cotton. Kenyon, the taller defender on this occasion. He ran into trouble, and thought just a little contact to the head. I'd like to see the Army replay on that one. Bryce was straight to the foul line. Here we go again. And you look to have him there, and he's come back at him. And then maybe just when he swatted down
if it was
his
the arm,
hand,
yes,
yeah.
but if it wasn't, no.
Yeah.
Just from that angle, couldn't see if it was the arm, but it was good defense.
It was great defense.
You just don't want to swipe there.
Yep.
Just quietly going about his business up to 18. Make that 19 points, so 6 of 11. Very efficient tonight, Bryce Cotton.
Well, why'd you ask for that graphic at the start of the game?
You are kidding me.
He's going.
You know there's
I
more
was surprised you did ask for that.
Yeah, I know. In the meeting, Damo. Oh, let's show how bad Bryce is shooting.
You know there's more chance of me saying something bad about one of my 3 incredible daughters than there is against my guy.
That's true. Another basket. Malik Lewis continues to shine on the big stage.
Well, that's 3 big threes that they've hit in these quarters now, and that really pushes that margin out a little bit.
Henschel also down the other end, the youngsters in amongst the action. This is good by Lewis, though. He has come into this game just struggling a touch, plenty of talk about him, and this is a great response. He's got 10 points to his name. Glover again shooting away. Hunter from behind. He'll get a second go at it and draw the foul.
Great work from Jordan Hunter. You look on the bench and you see Sobey, Wieskamp hurt. You're thinking, where are they going to get their scores from? But Malik Lewis hits the threes. He's knocking it down. And now Jordan Hunter, great offensive rebound here and puts it back. And he'll get it and one. And didn't he love it?
Look at the mean face as well. Fantastic on the Amy replay as he goes to the line. Silence the fans a touch with 1:43 remaining before three-quarter time. And this performance by Southeast, Brett, is not a surprise if you consider the ladder over the last 6 games. They're sitting at top 7-2. They've been the best team over the past 6 games. Illawarra in second, Perth Wildcats incidentally in third. So no surprise here as Kenya continues to put the pressure on. It'll be a Wildcats ball, but
2 seconds.
The body language is up and about.
Yeah, 2 seconds to get it over the court, over the halfway line here. You want to take it away, let him get it further in the backcourt.
Munza will look after him on this occasion. Hunter puts some pressure on. Henschel for 3. Doesn't go. Well done to Amanza. 6 points the margin. Doolittle getting his chance. Bryce is sitting down with his 19 points and a travel there.
The offensive rebounds have kept Perth in it, but there's too much isolation basketball for my liking right now. They've got to get it through hands. Try and get out and run. If they don't have an easy one on the ring in the first 4 to 6 seconds in the shot clock, then get it through some hands. But got to credit the defense. Matty Kenyon in particular. I know he sent Bryce Cotton to the free throw line before, but you can just feel the intensity rising. I think that's off the back of him picking up full court and getting after it.
Here he goes again. Playing way above his age at the moment. Couldn't make the play. Good hands though, Wieskamp. Forced the turnover. Took on Wagstaff, ran into trouble. Offensive foul. The veteran gets one to go his way. And as we said, going to play game 500 in Sydney on the weekend. Let's take another look on the Army replay.
Tamo, thoughts?
Yeah, it's a charge, and I want to see...
What was I asking you for? I can't believe I even thought of that.
Has anyone ever looked back in the history books to see who's drawn more charges?
Oh,
because it had to be
100%.
Jesse Wagstaff.
Yeah, 100%.
I love how he was asked during the week about the charges. He goes, yeah, you know, I'm not very athletic, so, you know, taking charges is my game. He said, there might have been a few flops in there as well. Acknowledging it straight away. Into the corner, Doolittle. This one must go for Perth. He can't make it go. Foxwell's back on the court. What a terrific third term for the Phoenix. They've made a statement here. Can they continue to stretch the margin? That's a beauty as well.
That is tough. That's an incredible finish by Benny Hare.
We're ticking down. This is the biggest margin of the game. Just reward for the visitors. Doolittle into the corner. Wagstaff will want Cotton. He was covered nicely. Almanza stepped out of courts.
Well, there's only two fouls
many
here.
mistakes, aren't they?
Perth have only got 2 fouls here, so this is a time when you want to, with 10 seconds left, wait for about 6 or 7 seconds, and when they go, foul. Stop the clock and stop them from getting a full court run.
Smart play by Nathan Sobey as well. I don't think it was a call from a bench. I think he just decided to make it on the fly. Bryce Cotton's got the ball in hand, shot clock winding down. He went and double teamed out of nowhere, try and force someone else to create.
So here we go. We'll tick it down. Under 10. Thin air. Loses control of the ball. Came off the foot of Doolittle. So still with 3.3 remaining.
Well, now
the Phoenix can have another crack.
The key here is push the ball to half court, as in Perth pushing Phoenix to catch it at half court. Give it a second and then foul.
Well, they can't foul on this occasion because Sobey is sensational. Right on the buzzer, drops the bomb. It's an 11-point margin with 1 quarter to play. The Phoenix leading the way, 77-66. Welcome back to the jungle. It's an 11-point lead to the Phoenix. The Wildcats under all sorts of pressure as the visitors are playing sensational basketball. Their 3rd term, truly inspirational. Lewis was superb, the youngster, and then in the end, just his 5th point of the game. But Nathan Sobey, with seconds remaining, landing the long bomb, and they're going to be hard to beat from here.
He is, and that's just, I mean, here we go with the live ladder as well. Look at that. Phoenix rocketing up the 3rd spot. And at the moment, 4 is playing 5 on Sunday, so that's going to be huge as well. But that's poor last-second play by Perth. Yep. They should not have given up at 3. An 11-point game is a very different game to an 8-point game in that timeout.
Certainly is. Some foul troubles for a few players, Wieskamp and also Windler. Windler's starting this final term. Wieskamp is just sitting down for a touch. He's got the 10 points to his name, so too is Lewis. 12 to Hurt and 11 to Hunter and Air. And there's a foul there. So back to 9 points now. What a surprising stat. Nathan Sobey's played in 21 games at RSN Arena and never scored 20-plus points. That is quite amazing for a player of his talent and scoring ability, as those baskets won't go. Willie was keen to give it to Cotton. He wasn't free, so... Oh, and Windler's... No, not over cross court. Pinned up. Very aggressive. And scoring the 2. No. Travel.
It did look like that extra step, yeah.
Late call, but I do think it was the right call. And going back to that stat about Nathan Sobey, never even scored 20+ here at RAC. If you'd asked me true or false, I'd he's trying to set me up here. It's definitely false, but
yeah, just had the 19 points is his highest.
25 times.
No, just twice. Yeah, just twice. Phoenix just need to keep this pressure up. The enthusiasm, the body language has been magnificent. This man's been setting the tone. Really just asking whether the rest were asking each other. Well, no, it was just an aggressive ask. Here's Sobey again, feeling it from outside. Nathan Sobey again.
Just telling Lockie Reed, what was that number again, Lockie?
I might get it in this corner.
Yes. I can't call 1,000 fouls. I don't want to call 1,000 fouls.
So there's a foul in there. It'll still be a Wildcats ball. Done really up and about on the sidelines. Plenty of tension now in the house. Everything on the line. Look at that pass, and Ty Webster gets upstairs.
Sneaky hops there from Webster.
welcome back.
Yes.
It's good movement off the ball as well. They get into an on-ball screen. You see your defender ball watching, goes and punishes them.
Here's Sobey again. You go over the back of the ring, so you may as well keep going to him at the moment because he's hitting the basket. This is the Amy replay. Doolittle inside to Webster.
Right over the top too, not just a little one. Geez, there's some point guards that are dunking over the last few days, isn't there?
He's coming off a hamstring as well.
Clint Steinwell's not really a point guard, but he dunked. Chris Golding
did, yes.
The boys are getting up.
10 points now, that margin.
We have an award for the best guard dunk of the year.
Good too.
It's Bryce's. Yeah.
Back. He's pinned up. Looks to Bryce. Under pressure against 2. Sobey with the board.
A Lockie Reed dunk. That was beautiful off the double hand by Bryce.
Here's Sobey. I've never dunked in a lifetime. Not even on the 5-footer.
This hitting the tee.
Yeah. Doesn't make it go on the break. Webster's very aggressive, and he'll get a quick 2. Setting the tone, Ty Webster back from a hamstring and full of run.
Well, you've got to be careful here, the Phoenix. They've gone away from what was getting right. They're taking 4 shots, a lot of over-dribbling here. I love Sobey when he hit the 3, but then he forced that next 3. The next possession was a force. Just get back to what they were doing because it was working.
That was gutsy from Dylan Winder. He's on the 4 fouls and reaching in. Sure it's exactly the right thing to do, but he got away with it on that occasion.
Winder and Sobey getting a bit chirpy with each other as well.
Red 0, blocking foul.
That's what happens, doesn't it, when not playoffs and the like, because they've clinched their playoff spot, but it's where you're going to finish is so important now. It's a bit juicy. Were you a talker on the court, Damo? Or? No, very quiet.
Very quiet.
Brad, you're a bit of a chirper?
On the court?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. That was 60 kilos, mate. I would have been thrown across the floor.
A certain style of player, I think, have to be the chirpy ones.
Yeah. Foxwell from outside 3. Windler will take it from the floor. 8 points down the margin. Phoenix holding on, but only just at the moment. Their 3rd term magnificent. Windler into the corner. Oh, Webster ducking and almost hitting 3s.
There's some tired bodies out here.
Windler's got to be careful here, and in the end, wow, this kid's playing some good basketball. Such composure.
Yep. Smart play again, trying to get in the body, take away the fact that Windler has that height advantage. But on the floor, you know he's going to play straight up and down.
So Jordan Hunter with the double-double as well. He's got the 11 points and 10 rebounds.
Both teams have still got their 3 timeouts left for the half, so there's plenty of rest that they can give their players if they don't want to make the substitutions. But you just see here Hunter and Sobey coming off, and Webster for Perth. So the coach's challenge and the test pieces start to move.
6:23 remaining, and Doolittle will go to the line. Got to think also, Brad, that Phoenix have still got a star player on the sidelines. Hoping to see Walton Jr. at some stage.
And I must admit, I was thinking with him out, I'm not sure what they can do and how they're going to be able to cope with that. But it's been seamless. It really has, on the back of great defense.
Yep. So here's Hurt inside. Can't make that play. They've gone away from Nat Hurt since the first quarter. He's missed a few shots, but oh dear. Oh, Pinder. Sliding through the middle of the key. Finishing the play and maybe inspiring his team and the fans, but they still trail by 6 points here at RAC Arena. That was good. That was real good, and they found a bit of a spark when needed.
And they're the 2 players who want to be involved at this stage of the game. You've got Bryce Cotton running the lanes and then Keanu Pinder running even harder to get ahead of the man. And it's still a tough finish. You know, I want to see a replay of that at some stage, because that wasn't just a given open layup. He still had a bit to do.
So Pinder is having a terrific game. He's got the 17 points coming off a beauty as well. He's also hauled in 7 rebounds. And Christian Doolittle with the 13. Bryce Cotton with the 19 down the other side, Brad. It's very, very even, isn't it? Wieskamp 10, Hurt 12, Foxwell 11, 11 for Lewis, Hunter with 11. Oh dear, Ben Eyre with 11.
6 guys with double figures, and one of those is not Nathan Sobey, who's got 8, and Angus Glover with 7. So, you know, they're doing it by committee, as we call it.
Six points the margin. Keanu Pinder's brought some life to the Wildcats and the fans. Here we go again. Bryce with the ball, saw the gap, and Pinder finished the play. And then he went straight to the crowd. He knows how important this game is. Surprising with the check through the scorers, the 6 double-figure scorers for the Phoenix, but Dylan Windler yet to get on the scoreboard. Going to be a Wildcats ball again, so pressure certainly now on Phoenix. They've been up to the challenge so far in this game. They've just got to hang on now and continue to play the way they played in the 3rd quarter, which was inspiring. Hand in the face, Wieskamp. He can't foul as well, Joe Wieskamp, because he's in trouble with the 4. Lewis up against Windler. 4 on the shot clock. Pinder will have to shoot. He does for 2. That's a mid-range, Keanu Pinder.
Off the dribble as well. 1 left, Amo.
Up to 19 for KP as well, putting together a beautiful game, one of his best.
I think it's time here for Wieskamp. They need to run some plays, try and get him a good look. Gone to a zone here, so this should be good passing.
And the 2 points will count.
Well, that's it.
So the 2 points will count.
Basket there. They needed that.
So this is a good response for the Phoenix. They're under a little bit of pressure. And one of their youngsters is coming to play. He's got to defend Bryce, though. Doolittle sees an opening. Lewis charging in at him, and Doolittle, though, is good enough to lob it up and straight into the hoop. Four points now. Got out to 12. Foxwell. That doesn't go. Oh, Bryce on the break. He slows it down. Pass inside to Windler. First points of the game to Dylan Windler.
What a pass by Bryce Cotton. That was outstanding basketball. Had to put it behind his back, I think it was, just before half court because he had a man in front of him. But be able to pass that ball, and we've got a 2-point ball game.
Hurt inside, 2 points. Good response down the other ends. That's the man I'd like to see them pass into and just...
The first points of the second half for Hurt. But you're right, even with saying that, he's still the guy.
Yeah.
He put a ball in hand.
You trust him. He's done it for most of the season. Go back to him as Doolittle continues to keep the margin at 2.
Well, he's going at Malik Lewis now. He can feel a mismatch there, and every time he's looking to go at him.
In the corner it goes. Foxwell, Hurt, under pressure. Just threw that one up, no foul. On the break now, Doolittle wants some help. Looks outside. Windler, Henschel. Ted steals the lead for the Wildcats. They were down by 12. Now they lead it by 1. And I reckon Jesse Wagstaff gave a high five to a teammate and has sprained his wrist. That's how enthusiastic it was. The Tangerine timeout, he sprinted out of the court and he was afterwards holding his wrist in pain.
He's a little bit older, that's the arthritis playing up.
That's it.
Don't you worry about that, Jesse.
We might check in on John Riley. Here we go as he speaks to his troops.
Let's go red. Let's go fucking red. Let's get after this shit. Hey, be aggressive, but hey, like last time, if they go to something horns and they come off, we can load over and be aggressive. Stay on the glass. I need you on the fucking bar. You can see we get shots, we'll get great shots. Here we go, fellas.
Message is simple there from John Riley. 1 point the margin, still 3.5 remaining. So we've spoken about it, Brad. We'd like to see them go to Hurt. What do you think Josh King would be saying during his time out to get his troops back on track? They were brilliant, their body language magnificent, the basketball superb in the third, but it's dropped away.
Well, it has. Look at that fourth quarter. That's where you're talking. 21-9. They've just got to be able to... But I think it's coming from their offense. I just don't think they're creating enough and they're not getting good looks. They're throwing the ball up and not shooting their strong percentage basketball, which is then allowing Perth just to run. Light down.
The pressure immense from Pinder. Referee's letting it go. Pinder, out wide he goes. Henschel. Can't make it go. It'll be a Wildcats ball.
Well, this is Perth to lose now. You look at this, 3 minutes to go. I mentioned before there was 3 timeouts for both teams. Well, South East have had to use 2 in the last couple of minutes.
Here's Bryce, top of the key. Out to 3 now. Wieskamp, they need this. A little firm. Hurt puts it on the floor. Under pressure. Scores the 2 as John Cougar Mellencamp says. Hurt so good. Another 2, and it's a 1 point margin. Cotton under pressure. Does not matter. The man can do anything from anywhere.
Up to 24 points now.
Sobey, the response blocked by Windler. Here comes Cotton again. He'll stop, prop, and break the house down. The MVP's had enough. He wants to finish as high as possible, and the margin is 7. It has been a 19-point turnaround for the Perth Wildcats. Here's the Amy replay.
Well, we see Bryce Cotton come off the screen, knock the 3 down, and now he says, now I'm feeling it. And right now, it's a hula hoop for Bryce Cotton in the Perth Arena. And doesn't he let everyone know?
Amazing run for the Wildcats. The Phoenix with 2.5 to get themselves back into this game. Have a look at the MVP. He's loving every moment of it. And those Japanese teams are saying, oh, we might have to add another $500,000 to his...
Look at that. 29-11 in the fourth quarter. Wow.
27 points, 9 of 15. He's had the 6 assists as well. Started slowly, was stuck on no points early in that first term. Then we mentioned at halftime, he got a few transition, fast breaks, and all of a sudden he was up to 11 in a moment.
But I think they did a good job because they were fronting him, and we spoke a lot before where it was like almost 4-on-4. He just let the other players do what they had to do. Pinder, Henschel, Doolittle, Windler, they were all doing what they had to do. Southeast to get the ball back, but as all good players, and the MVP does, he finds ways.
He knows the moments. He picks and chooses. He's not the type of guy to usually start a game and have 10, 15 in the first quarter. He's happy to bide his time. He's happy to figure out how the opposition are playing him and get his own teammates involved. But when the game's on the line, he wants the ball more than anyone else.
He's hurt again. Doolittle tracking him. The 2 won't go, but the tap in will. Hunter working hard, continue to under the basket. They stay in this, the Phoenix. It's only 5 points. Plenty of basketball to come. They need a stop here. Hunter shoves Pinder out the way. He comes back at him. And he somehow under the rack gets the 2. Pinder's having himself a nice game. He's up to 21 points. Hurt again. Oh, dear me! They won't lie down, the Phoenix.
Big possession here. They really need to stop. I think they'll go back into Pinder or make sure Bryce touches it.
Henschel gets the double team. I'll have to hand it off to Bryce. He's got 6 on the shot clock to work some magic. Step back to Henschel, into the corner. Windler, little firm. Handy rebound for the Phoenix.
That's a great half-court defensive set there by Phoenix. Now they need to score.
Foxwell straight to the hoop, but it was swatted away by Pinder. His presence defensively has been really good. Keanu Pinder. Doolittle. They're looking for the foul now, the Phoenix. Under a minute, 4 points to margin. Cotton passes out to Pinder. Firm, Henschel with the boards. And they have to foul Cotton.
Well, that's only their 3rd, I think, team foul, so he won't be shooting. It will be side possession.
Ben Air wants a piece of the action as well. Foxwell sitting down. He's had a great game, Foxwell. 13 points. Got himself 3 assists as well, but time is against the Phoenix. They needed a steal there. They just couldn't make it go. As Brad said, still a side ball for the Wildcats. Still time, isn't there? 32 seconds.
Certainly is. I mean, the best thing now is they get a 5-second violation, which is tough because Perth are very good and now out of bounds. You get a foul straight away.
Cotton tracking the ball and then turning it over. So that's a big turnover.
Yeah, that's luck.
A chance here for Phoenix to silence the fans.
No timeouts for Phoenix, so they just got to get good looks.
He's there. Nearly lost it. He digs. Double dribble it was.
Double dribble, yeah.
That was unlucky.
Very unlucky because he had the man wide open there as well.
Just costly mistake.
Obviously, you just got a foul straight away. Glover, I'm not sure why they're waiting. They can't afford the 8 seconds.
Just didn't want to foul on Cotton, but you're right. There's 11 seconds now they foul, and they went for the option of Pinder, which is probably the best option out.
I can understand it was a 3-point game, but it's a 4-point game, so there's a minimum of 2 possessions. The 8 seconds in the backcourt wouldn't have helped them.
Yep. So Pinder goes to the line.
.69% free throw shooter for his career. 70 this year, so he's right on the mark.
Drops in the first. That makes it 5.
Like I said, no timeouts here, so you can't extend. You just got to go.
And a violation for Pinder. got going early on the shot. He was called for that last week as well.
Yeah, it's actually good for Southeast because it stops the clock and they get to have a set now rather than a second or two to get it off the glass.
So just score as quickly as possible here, whether it's a 2 or 3, doesn't matter.
No, you're right. In a 5-point game, absolutely. You don't need to be
5 seconds. And then try for a steal. Here we go. See how they can go. Glover decides to go the 3! And he drops the 3! 2 points now the margin. Windler to Cotton. They'll have to foul him. Wow, Angus Glover. Way to make a game of it, my friend.
Well, unfortunately, whilst it's a good foul, this is the guy you don't want to foul. He's an 88% free throw shooter for his career in all 250 now 2 games of his career.
So Cotton to the line. There might be some memories for a little missed free throw against Cairns.
Oh, I wasn't going to bring that up. You're from Perth. Oh, actually, you're from Melbourne. You live in Perth. You're allowed to. Nah, there it is. Obviously, for Southeast, they need this to miss.
They need this to miss. Yeah. Big rebound from Hunter. Down the court it goes. Glover for 3. What do you reckon?
Not with Bryce. Damn. Look, great win by Perth. Southeast had a great game, just an awful fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Great win by Perth.
Fell away. Third term was sensational. Yeah, been superb. He'll drop the 3 and make it a 1-point game in the end. The Wildcats get themselves back on the winners list in front of the hometown fans. But still plenty of basketball to come for both these teams. It's going to be an exciting finish to the NBL season, and these two are going to play a huge part. 100-99, the final score.
What a great game by both teams, and you know, you come in here and you expect games. Brisbane beat Adelaide tonight. A lot of people saying Southeast can win it. They're out by 11 at 3-quarter time, and then just blow it in the 4th quarter. Perth, they come back, they ride hard, and what a game Sunday's now going to be. Perth versus the Sydney Kings.
Absolutely. Where you're seeing that game in particular, how have you seen Sydney?
Look, they've been up and down. They had a great win against the Phoenix a couple of weeks ago. Then they lost to Adelaide last week, but not terribly. So, look, it's going to be a wow of a game. Perth will obviously have to fly out tomorrow, get to Sydney, be prepared, where Sydney have been sitting there all week and waiting. So what I do know is Perth will not be scared to come into Sydney Arena. And for Sydney, they are playing the better basketball they have throughout the year. They are getting much better. Cam Oliver, we saw him playing a lot better. Jalen Adams, Xavier Cook. So it's definitely going to be a wow of a game.
And for the Phoenix as well, they take on Adelaide and Melbourne. Let's look at the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. So Perth sit in 4th position. Their percentage is just a little lower than the Phoenix and also Sydney, but they've got that extra win over the Phoenix. So Sunday's game's crucial. As I said, the Phoenix will take on Adelaide and Melbourne in their run home. So that's a challenge.
Just expect the unexpected, Lockie. That's what we do know. It's been a wow of the season, and we wouldn't expect any of that last game, Southeast Melbourne versus Melbourne. I do that prediction. You look at the Mitsubishi Motors ladder now, and you can have Melbourne sitting in 2nd that can go to 4th.
Yep.
Southeast in 5th go to 2nd. It's just going to be that man tonight. What a wow of a game. And that was a good comeback by Webster. Played more minutes than I thought he was going to play, and he played some great minutes for them.
Yeah, he certainly did. So the final score was 100-99. We'll try and catch up with one of the stars of the game. The highest scorers was Cotton with 29 points. Pinder had 22. He also hauled in 7 rebounds. Here's Damo with Bryce Cotton.
BC, 29-point performance by you, but you got your teammates involved. But I want to talk about that 3 in transition, back-to-back 3s. What were you saying to the crowd afterwards?
I can't remember. Sometimes I get in one of those modes, I don't know what I'm saying. And I probably wouldn't tell you if I did anyway.
I want to pick your brain, though, because you tend to find your way into games. You see how defense is playing, you get your teammates involved, and then you find a time to take over. Is that fair enough to say?
Yeah, I felt like the past few games I was pressing a little bit too much. I get double-teamed every game. I know I can score, but we got weapons, so I wanted to come out and make sure I was facilitating, and then when I had shots, I would take it, but I didn't want to rush tonight.
5 soft tissue injuries so far this season for Ty Webster. He's missed a lot of basketball, but it was a great return tonight.
Fresh legs, man. He's back like he never left. And, yeah, he did a hell of a job today, but we needed it from everybody today.
And Keanu Pinder, big performance tonight from him as well.
It was huge, man. I think if you go back and look at the Cairns game, it was literally the reverse. You know, we was up 10 or whatever with however many minutes to go. We blew that game. We were down about 10 this time, and we found a way to claw back, but it's a great team effort.
Quick turnaround game again this weekend versus Sydney. I'll let you go, but congrats on the win.
Thank you.
There he goes, Bryce Cotton, the Foot Locker player of the game. Just the scorers for the Phoenix, who are superb as well. Matt Hurt with 19 points, 14 points for Ben Eyre. Really liked his game. Foxwell with 13, but Bryce was the one that turned it on at the crucial stages and won the game for the Cats.
Exactly right. And, you know, no wonder he is the Foot Locker player of the game. I just love the composure tonight, and that's something that I thought he was just better than I've seen him for so long. 29 points from 15 shots. That is amazing. And I know
37 against Cairns in double overtime.
37 shots for 38, you know, and you look at their shots tonight, 69 shots for the Wildcats. Now, last week, they shot 95 shots for the game, which is the most out of anyone this year. Mind you, there was 16 in the double overtime, I get it, but you can just see when they're shooting that above 50% like they did tonight, they're a team that can win the championship when they play like this.
Here's Damo with Christian Doolittle.
17 points for Christian Doolittle. The red-hot form continues for you, but more importantly, massive win for the team.
Yeah, no, it was great. You know, Southeast is a really good team. We know there's going to be a good fight coming in. We were happy to get this win.
What about Benny Henschel down the clutch? He's one of the younger players in the league. He doesn't seem to mind coming up with the big shots in the big moments.
No, not at all. But that's, you know, that's what we expect from Henny. You know, he's capable of making big shots at big times, and he was able to come through for us tonight.
What about the importance of Dylan Winlow? Obviously returns from injury straight into the starting five, another win.
No, he's a missing piece of the puzzle. You know, we're glad to have him back as he, you know, gets back in the rhythm and everything. You know, he's only going to get better.
One thing I really thought stood out tonight was the composure of the Perth Wildcats. Southeast made a run. They built a margin into the fourth quarter. Didn't seem to faze you guys.
No, you know, they had a run there. They got up 11 to start the fourth quarter. But, you know, we knew that it was going to come down to a lot of good defensive stops and rebounding, and we were able to get that done.
Great performance by you. Great win by the team. Congrats, mate.
Great performance. You have a look at Christian Doolittle's stat line. 17 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists.
Wow.
And that was a quiet sort of game, wasn't it? From
quiet.
Because Bryce was so destructive at the important stages, but it was, that's just crept up on us.
I can honestly say, crept up is the right words. I look at it and I just think to myself, he was a little bit quiet today. Then you look at that and just brilliant. And he is a key for their signing in the off-season. I know we speak about it a lot on Matt Hurt and the other ones, but he is really, really good basketballer for this guy. And the way he played tonight, putting those little baskets, especially against Malik Lewis, he really bullied him up.
It's a tough three, isn't it? Pinder, Doolittle, and also Cotton. Very important. Let's check in with Damien Martin with Jesse Wagstaff. Game 499 done, Damo, and 500 coming up.
Let's start right there. 499 games under the belt. How did that one feel?
It's really good. Obviously, come from behind. I think, you know, our best basketball is really good, but it's when we're just a little off and, you know, not switched on that, you know, it's not good enough. So it's just about raising that kind of trough and keeping our best basketball kind of consistent.
Massive return by Ty Webster after a significant amount of time on the sidelines. What did you see from him in particular?
Yeah, look, he just provides a different look. He's such a big guard. His energy was high. He obviously got a dunk, so I was pretty pumped up about that. But, you know, it's just great to have a full roster. You know, a lot of teams this year have been ravaged by injury, and we've had our fair share, but it's just good to have a full squad.
You played alongside Bryce Cotton the whole time he's been out here in the NBL, but time and time again he delivers. What was tonight like, though?
He's very good. He's very good at basketball. But I say time and time again, it's how he plays the game too. He's not out there to get his. He'll make the right pass. He'll play defense. He'll hustle. He cares. And as much as it pains me to say it, he's a good bloke too. So yeah, he's a phenomenal asset.
In commentary, the boys tried to claim you as a New South Welshman. I made it quite clear you are from Canberra. You're returning to the East Coast for milestone game 500. I know you're a modest man, but did you ever think you'd get to 500 games when you joined the Wildcats all those years ago?
Nah, look, not at all. I was saying during the week, you know, me and my wife came over here with nothing, but like just a backpack and you know, we'll see how I go for a few years.
A black and white TV.
Obviously. But, you know, we'll see how to go. And 16 years later, we're kind of married, 3 kids and fairly settled. So, it's been a huge part of my life, this club and yours, and you know, it's the relationships we build and those memories that are really special.
You've won 6 championships. I don't know how much longer you're going to go on for, but 500 games, 6 championships, a quality team. How much would that 7th championship mean to you? 499
games, actually. No, look, huge. You know, that's always the goal, right? As a player, we talk about it often, is the rings and relationships. And, you know, there's a lot of water to go under the bridge yet, but, you know, to strive for another championship is always a goal.
You described your best basketball is good enough at times, there's lapses. How would you describe Perth Wildcats at their best this season?
Look, I think we're dynamic and we care. We get on the glass. We push it in trans. We play free. We move the ball. You know, and all those things are good basketball signs. But it's just, as I said, it's when we're a little off and teams can get the upper hand, then, you know, we're not that good. So it's about finding what drives us and keeps us consistent. And we've got 2 more games to really narrow in on that, and then it's playoffs.
Sometimes people say a good training week on the court normally leads to a good game. Did you see that from KP Monday through Thursday?
Yeah, he was really locked in, and he was locked in at shoot-around too, and it's good to see him when he's up and about and he's talking. It really bodes well for the rest of the team, and I thought he was doing that tonight.
On a fast break in game 500, can we see a Jesse Wagstaff dunk?
I think you know the answer to that.
That is a hard no. Congrats on the win. Good luck this week on Sunday.
2 very good mates. Great to see him having a long chat after the game. Well done to Jesse Wagstaff. Good luck on Sunday. Keanu Pinder was terrific. So they got Sydney and Adelaide on the way home.
Yep.
Sydney on their home deck, probably 16,000 Kings
there'll
fans.
be a big crowd, and they've set it up really well.
Yep.
Tonight was a big win. They needed to on the back of 2 losses, obviously, but getting that win at home after what's been going on, and now they've got a free swing, really, at Sydney. That's what it's about now, and they can climb up that ladder. No one really wants to be in that 5th, 6th spot. You know, you want to be able to have a second bite at the worst, so this is great. But I can hear the cans, Taipans.
The boat, you can hear the motor starting up now, can't you? Going out to the Barrier Reef or wherever they want to go.
Ford is running across Cairns Harbour right now. But that is congratulations to the Taipans. They are obviously the first NBL summer shootout with 111 points, and that is absolutely fantastic.
There's the boat all starting up. They'll be going on their fishing charter, and they'll be off having a great time. Well done to the Taipans. A disappointing season for them, but they can at least pay a little bit of cash. Keanu Pinder, superb. So much to talk about. The Wildcats winners here over the Phoenix by 1 point.